Hello, hello. I'm tweeting the thing, by the way. OBS, create transmission, post, copy, post. All right. Okay, so today I have questions to ask the audience. But first, let's see what I was going on here, and then I'm going to ask the questions. Okay, so I watched this video. With her making a website and talking about how she deleted all social media, which was interesting, I guess. And I commented this thing, right? Interesting video. Not sure if I agree with everything because because she basically was talking a lot about Instagram. She's an artist, so she liked inspiration from social media. She had these things, right? So fear of losing people, fear of losing memories, and fear of losing inspiration, right? Inspiration was this using Instagram for inspiration. Losing memories was because she had like this Instagram archive and the Instagram feed showed her along time or across time. And losing people was because you lose contact with the people you had added on Instagram because her background was like moving across cities and all that.
About this concept of
And basically I didn't think of that so much because I used Twitter, right? So the things that she mentioned here of like fear of missing out regarding like inspiration, for example, of over consuming inspiration and all this, and the lack of self-made ideas, right? AKA copying other people's drawings or whatever, and not coming up with your things was interesting because because I didn't think that because the interaction on Twitter is basically like the barrier to create is so low that I don't know, it's like most things are pretty derivative in text, right? And Twitter in general is pretty derivative. It's not like I don't know, there are novel things and there are like novel ways to tweet and interesting forms to write things and new ways to tell things that have already been said. All these things, right? But I don't know. I don't know how well to put it. Wow, crazy comment ratio. 1,000 200 and 200,000, 0.5%. Yeah, I don't know. It was interesting. I don't know. Let me rewatch it to see why.
You should make a website too. Okay, so I anticipate this to be kind of a longer video. So I made an outline. So this chapter 1 is why delete social media? Like, why? Then chapter 2 is why we don't delete social media despite these reasons to delete social media and why what was holding me back from deleting social media. And then how I overcame these fears and finally deleted social media. And third chapter is why a website, rather than anything else, is the best replacement for social media. And then chapter 4 is my website tour, and then new contact methods since I deleted all of them. And then conclusion, and then limitations to this video. So please skip to the part that sounds the most interesting since it's going to be long. But let's get started. So why delete social media? So first of all, this video is not going to center around why, because the conversation around why you should delete social media in the first place has already been covered extensively. And you can find any other video that explains the negative effects of social media. But let me just summarize them really quickly for you guys. So first one is negative effect on mental health. This has been researched, and particularly I have an article with, quote, excessive and increased use of social media, particularly among those who are vulnerable, is correlated with depression and other mental health disorders. And then these two reasons are specifically why I wanted to delete social media, which is substitute for real life experiences, and then wasting time and addictiveness, falling to the addictive clutches of social media. And if you want to learn more about, why you should delete social media,
Yeah, I don't know. I watched this and then the other part, and I didn't relate that much, right? I don't know. It's like the correlation to me doesn't really make sense, because it's like, is deleting social media going to make your life better? Like, who the fuck are you going to feel? Like, what the fuck are you going to fill them with? Are you going to go out there or whatever? Or are you using social media in the first place because the other thing is out of reach, right? Like, if I delete social media, for example, if I delete Twitter, I don't know, it could be a nice experiment, it could be a nice experiment, but what the fuck would I do, right? I don't know. Maybe it's not that bad of an idea, actually. But yeah, to me, writing the tweets it's not necessarily a thing I consider productive or whatever, but it's a thing that keeps me going, right? It's something like reading the people on Twitter, to me, is the point, right? It is the interesting thing. Reading the things that are said on Twitter is the interesting thing, because if I were not on Twitter, it's like, what would I be listening to? Who would I be reading? I would be reading just myself, right? I would be maybe scripting something, right? Maybe I would be a bit more creative, but I don't necessarily think so, right? I don't know. Like, I'm not sure exactly what would I do. I have to think, because I'm not exactly sure what would I do without social media. But like, I wouldn't replace that with real life. That's the problem, or not the problem, but like, that's the fake distinction that people make, right? When people say, if you quit social media, like, you will substitute that with real connections or whatever. No. Like, what about the life of someone who is addicted to social media tells you that they will connect with people in real life, right? No. Like, you have people inside your life that are not available, right? It's like your friends are not online when you are, or not online, sorry. Your friends are not available to hang out or whatever the fuck when you are not online. So you would be doing other things alone, right? So you would be maybe reading. Maybe it would be more productive in the sense that you would read, or maybe you could express yourself creatively in other ways. But I don't know. Hello, by the way. Not sure who joined, but hello. And yeah, the video title is correct. I called it Today I'm Asking You Questions, because it's true. I have, like, the things after this thing about social media are me asking questions. Hi, my name is Blitzer658, aka MX MMA. Okay, so let's go with the questions part. Hello, second viewer. Now, I already covered this thing about, briefly covered the thing that about social media. I don't know, I just talked a little bit about my comment on the video. And now I'm going to ask the questions. So, first question. This. I read this Derek Sivers book, which, by the way, seems to be all published on his own website on chapters, but he calls it a book. And it's interesting, right? It's like you can buy this, or you can just, I don't know, if I look up your Music and People website, I will probably see some people who like, you can read the whole thing for free at that link. How cool is that? Oh yeah, this is the book itself. You can just, not sure if scrolling, but yeah, the whole book here is the whole book is indexed here. So you can just like read each chapter. And one of these chapters was called Life is like High School. And it had a couple of interesting things, right? I can read it, or we can hear it.
Chapter 6.
And by the way, Hania, hello.
16?
Life is like high school. When you're in high school, it's about popularity, cliques, and being cool. When you go to college, the focus shifts to academic achievement. Many people get out of college thinking the world will be like that. Like the harder you work, the more you'll be rewarded. But it's not. Life is like high school. It's all about how you come across, how social you are, what scene you're in, being likable and being cool. But you can make this work in your favor. You can be your idealized self. You can be where things are happening. You can attend cool events and invite people to join you. You can practice your social skills and be the kind of person that people like to help. You can approach this strategically, as if you were a new kid going to a new school with a goal to be popular. It sounds shallow, but it works. Be who they want to be. In your role as a musician, it's actually considerate. It'd be easier to put in no effort and be normal. Show up wearing whatever, take a normal photo, and be a regular person. But people want someone to look up to, someone who's not of their normal, boring world, someone who's being who they wish they could be if they had the courage. It takes some extra effort to look and act cool instead of normal, but it's considerate and part of your art. Look back at artists like Andy Warhol and Miles Davis, who were not only great at their art, but also knew how to play their image, to be cool.
Boom. Okay, interesting blog post, right? And I'm not sure if I agree with everything, but I found this part interesting. You can attend cool events and invite people to join you. That done now, and I was like, my question to the audience, right? Today is a stream about questions. What are the cool events that you would attend to, right? Because I was thinking, when I thought of this, right, I was thinking, right, in the context. I was kind of immersed in what he was saying, right? So I was like, so I guess, like, you can try to figure out how to attend the Grammys or something like this, right? If you are, I don't know, a music person or whatever, try to attend the Grammys or try to attend maybe local music awards shows or like attend cool concerts, right? Or something like this. And I was like, but I don't know, like, it would be interesting. I think I commented here, right? Interesting. I do resonate with the sentiment, especially but people want someone to look up to, someone who's not of their normal, boring world, someone who's being who they wish to be if they have the courage. I do think that of people, especially if it relates to fashion, expression, etc. Music too. The you can attend cool events part made me think, what cool events do I want to attend to? Because I certainly have priorities. I find the Oscars cool, but I don't feel super compelled to attend. And then the events that I would like to attend. Some events I actually want to go to. Formula 1 Grand Prix. I don't know. I think that's the plural of Grand Prix. Most of them, but mainly Monaco, Singapore, Miami, and the upcoming Madrid one. Events at many private car collections. Petersen Museum, the basement, because the Petersen Museum is like open to the public, but there's also like there is much more to the Petersen Museum than the collection that they have like showing. They have a basement that is full of cars that are not shown, and some people get to go there, and that's a place I would like to go to. And yeah, the Chelsea 1979 collection at McLaren Barcelona. There's this guy who runs kind of the dealership of McLaren Barcelona, who has this kind of museum collection called Chelsea 1979, and well, I can look it up. And it's basically a museum, and he does these events of some things, and like you can hire the event for some things, but it's not like a public museum that everyone can visit, right? I'd like to attend my my graduation. I don't lol. I almost never leave my room. But don't you want, like, is there no events? For example, if the guy from the song, like this Vienna song, Vienna's Suit. Yeah, if the Wilbur Suit guy did a concert in Berlin, like, would you like to attend it? Wilbur Suit concert. Wait, Quackity. Who's Hania? Do I follow them? He's the person with the thing. On Twitter? I don't think so. I'd love to attend that, and I did attend some concerts and stuff, but that's like a rare occasion. Yeah, I know. Like the Grand Prix are also rare occasions. Like Formula 1 Grand Prix. Well, there's one every month, more or less, for like 9 months of the year. But like people don't go to everyone, right? Well, the drivers do, and the teams and all that. But like if you are attending, so it's like what, and also like the Grammys are once a year also, or like the Oscars are once a year, or Sundance Festival, etc. It's like maybe you don't want to go to the Oscars, but you want to go to Sundance Festival, right? Because you like the Sundance vibe more, like indie movies or whatever. I'm not sure if Sundance is like indie movies, but that vibe. Yeah, so what events would you like to attend to? I was thinking, and yeah, I said Formula Grand Prix. I would like to attend concerts as well from, for example, Taylor Swift. I have tickets for the one in Madrid, I think. Then I don't know. I follow a lot of artists, like Lana Del Rey, for example. I'm not sure if she does concerts or if she will tour soon, but she would be up there. Zetangana as well. I don't know. If you go to my Last FM, well, the most played ones, Last FM. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so basically Taylor, Lana Del Rey, Zetangana, but he, for example, is not touring soon. Carly Rae, Daft Punk, but Daft Punk is kind of retired. Frank Ocean, but Frank Ocean, for example, is pretty disappeared. Bejo, The Weeknd, Good Cafoné, Ariana, Kendrick. But Kendrick, I'm not sure if Kendrick would come here. And I'm not sure if I would want to go to a Kendrick concert, for example. I don't know, maybe I would. Flory, Kanye. These are some Spanish artists. Ed Sheeran too. I don't know. A lot of people. Oh, Caroline Polachek, for example. This is pretty big from last year. I would like to see her tour. Would definitely be concerts and the Herzberg Festival. I'd go to a Lana Del Rey thing, even though I only like one song. Yeah, I went to a concert of hers, I think in 2014, Honeymoon Tour, if I recall correctly. Or was it the Last for Life tour? Looks pretty hippie. My birthday is on the 28th of July. Teresa Bergman Bonaparte. Holy fuck, 180. Yo, why does YouTube censor my ass? No idea. Sounds folky. Bro, what? Nice. What are some bands from here that you like? Line up. Brant Björk. Morning. Hello. Hello, Quadro. The question, as you saw in the title, today I'm asking you questions. And the question that I am asking, morning? Is it morning? It's not morning there either, right? Okay, the question first. I don't know who will show. I just like the festival feeling and stuff. And why Herzberg? Is it close to you? Entdecken. Was ist das? Infos. Anfahrt. That means something like traveling, right? Yes. Anreise mit dem Auto. I mean, no, it's not Berlin. Nope, it's not as always. XD. True, it's always the same time. And yeah, the question I asked. Did I ask the question? The question I'm asking is cool events. What are some cool events that you would like to attend? I said, yeah, Formula 1 Grand Prix, going to like car museums, some concerts. Hanio said something like concerts as well, and yeah, concerts and Herzberg Festival. Blitzer 658, aka Amix, said said graduation. So I'm asking what you would like to attend. In this case, Quadro 201. Yeah, because of and the context is this post. There is this book called Your Music and People, and one of the chapters talks about like events that you would like to attend. And he says this thing, right? Like, life is like high school, blah, blah, blah. So it kind of sounds bad, but you can make this work in your favor. You can attend cool events, right? And I'm like, what events do you think you're cool? Because it's like not every event is cool for everyone, you could say, right? I also said I go to the Grammys. E3, if it happens now. Interesting. Yeah, I watched some E3 videos. I used to watch not the E3 live events, but like the recaps of the E3, of what happened at E3. Not anymore, but I used to. It was interesting. And there was this Spanish streamer who did this relatively kind of big, you could say like something like subathons or something like that on E3. And he would like watch basically every conference live and all that. Hi, baited though. Will Burning Man show. Interesting. Burning Man is interesting. That definitely fits like the festival vibe that Hanio said before. This festival feeling and thing. But like at a super huge scale. America style. I don't know. I follow people who like, well, follow. I'm kind of mutuals on Twitter with people who go to Burning Man and all that. And I find it interesting, right? And I find the vibe interesting, but I'm personally not that into not into drugs. So yeah, so I'm not, I don't know. It's also seems like not cultish, but people will say stuff like it's a lifestyle. And people who say it's a lifestyle about stuff, I'm like, all right, but it's not my lifestyle. So I don't know. I feel like some distance towards it. But it's cool. Zom, hi, привет. Burning Man is demonic as fuck. I mean, maybe. I'm trying to send this message and YT keeps cooking me. Sorry, I can't see the messages, the deleted ones. So, well. You haven't visited underground queer techno parties if you consider Burning Man demonic. Probably. I haven't either. I mean, I don't consider Burning Man demonic or whatever, right? I don't consider it demonic. If it were demonic, I wouldn't consider that necessarily that bad. But I don't vibe. They're censoring me? What the fuck? I don't have any rules or whatever. I think. Yeah, this was my first question. Like, what events? And yeah, it's especially like thinking more in this vibe, right? Because, for example, you said the Grammys, right? You would like to attend the Grammys. And I'm like, okay, that's an interesting point. But also, yeah, going a bit further, right? It's like everyone, not everyone, but many people would like to attend the Oscars, right? Because, and not only the Oscars, for example, within Formula One Grand Prix, like the Monaco one is like the most iconic, right? So it's like rich people for some reason want to go, and actually all of these three events are like, all of those three Grand Prix are very like kind of everyone wants to go for some reason, right? Because it's kind of the rich people's hobby or something, and because they kind of take over the city. So like the Miami Grand Prix takes kind of over the city, and suddenly like people in Miami kind of want to go there. Or the Monaco Grand Prix literally takes over the city. Singapore Grand Prix as well takes over the city, right? So all of those are pretty, I don't know, they are full of like posturing people, so it's like a lot of people want to go there. And I'm thinking more of like events that you think, I would like to go to this event, and that maybe are not events like that massive or whatever, right? And I was trying to think about that as well, right? Because, for example, Formula One Grand Prix that are more of like less, I don't know, for normies or whatever, would be, I think, Spa Grand Prix. That's pretty, I don't know, it's not hardcore race fans or whatever, but it is more oriented to that, I guess, right? They like them, or for example, Hungaroring, right? The Hungary Grand Prix. That's also a Grand Prix. I'm looking at. I have a map of circuits in the world, and Hungaroring. It's like, I don't know. It's considered like a good circuit. Spa is pretty big, right? And it has this iconic track layout, like it looks like an Uzi. Spa. Tiananmen Square, but I don't know why the square is so popular. Just kidding. Yeah, Formula One event, super cool. Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask, because I don't have many ideas, right? I have this whole list of places I would like to go, right? Control S, CTOs. But in Micronations, in Spain, I have a lot of places to eat saved. I have these motels with private parking. I find them interesting. I like places like that are car dependent, right? I don't know. I like them. People are like very urbanistic or whatever, and I'm like, but if I have my car close by me and I can, these are like hotel rooms that you can just pull up with your car, like not interact with barely anyone, and like their purpose is to fuck or whatever, and to not get seen with who you're walking into or whatever. Right? But I like the car centricness. So I have a lot of those, but those are not like cool events, right? These are places. And I don't have a lot of events saved. I have like pretty towns. I have like places I would like to eat food. I have like stores. Yes, for example, this building in Chongqing, it's like run through by a train, which is interesting, but it's just because the building is cool. This city is interesting, but because it's narrow, but it's just a city, right? It's not like I don't necessarily want to go to like the Carnival of Janun or whatever, or like for example, Chinese New Year is interesting, but I don't know. Yeah, this could be an event, right? The sunrise and at Angkor Wat, because I saw a YouTube comment that said something like, yeah, I was there in 2019 and in Angkor Wat it's amazing, the sunrise. And I'm like, interesting, and I saved it. I don't know, but I kind of want to visit Kensington neighborhood in Philadelphia. My brother was in Philadelphia last something. Oh, okay. No, but he was not in Kensington. Okay. Yeah, I've seen a YouTube video of this. It's full of like fentanyl and all that. Yeah, this, no? Right. Yeah, I watch a lot of videos like this lately, but I don't want to go there necessarily. And there are not events. I have onsens, stores, game centers. Car dealerships. Places from movies, right? This is a waste treatment plant, but it was a setting in a movie, and I liked it. I would like to visit. Oh fuck! I forgot to write something. I want to go to some restaurants, places with interesting views. Car events. Okay, I do have events. I would like to attend just random car events in Thailand, for example, because I saw a guy on YouTube who did videos of them, and he had a Patreon and was like, if you join my Patreon, blah blah blah. And I was like, if I am ever in Thailand, I will join. Yeah, Succumbit, because there are lady boys and people like film them, and I was like, interesting. Yeah, another place with ladyboys, and then places without ladyboys, or maybe with, but I don't know. Oh, the Kalahari Desert. Yeah, in Germany I have a lot of things. See, this is another building with where you can park your car very close. See the view? I would love to stay at this hotel. But I have very few events, or 0 events. A lot of museums, some towers and all this. Brutalistic buildings. Okay. Just be there in person there, feel the egregore, smell the psychosphere. Haha. Smell the psychosphere. Tasting something. Ireland. No events yet. Or is this an event? No, this is a painting. Oh yeah, it's just a painting that looks interesting. No events, all of these are like eating places. Oof. The Gyugyaro showroom has to be so fire. These are probably brutalistic buildings, yep. These are churches and all that, and views, food. Places, more places and hotels. I guess this counts. Does this count as an event? It's like sliding. It's not exactly an event because it's not something regular or whatever.
Across Europe, there are lots of strange tourist...
Sneeds, feed and seed. Formerly whatever, right? Formerly Chucks.
attractions that started out for public
This is
transport
cool.
infrastructure. Venice has its gondolas, lots of cities have cable, and there aren't any seatbelts.
From the start down. Total we are 154 men. It's made of, we put some grease under the bus, build new ones, and
See, this is pretty funny.
Hold on to here. Okay. This is a 2-kilometre ride. The top speed is about...
I'd like to do this, but it's not an event. These are more places, restaurants, more buildings, brutalistic buildings. Oh, this is kind of an event, but not really, right? There is in Sweden, there are some places that have this. I would say this is an event, right? But, I mean, it's hard to say an event. It's more like a seasonal thing than an event. But yeah, there is kind of this Christmas food, which is called Yule board, which means kind of like Christmas board or something. And it is this like food done in these events, right? It's interesting. So that is more event-like. Places to eat, more or less. A lot of places in the US too. New York, a lot of places in New York as well. Some fire-ass places. But they don't have events. See, I have some like things to eat during Christmas time in Venezuela, for example. I don't know. Any more events? And then the next question I had, okay, was ask my viewers over X thousand words. Oh yeah, this was another thing that I thought of. This was not related to asking, I think. It was like asking you people to describe my YouTube channel, right? Yeah, something like, don't know how to describe your music. Like, I'm trying to come up with a single phrase to describe my YouTube channel. What would you guys use to describe my YouTube channel? That is me asking you the question, right? That's the second question of the stream. Curiosity. Interesting phrase. Wait, what was the question? Something like, describe my YouTube channel with a single phrase. It doesn't have to be a single word like curiosity, but I don't know, based on the YouTube video that you saw, for example. Describe my channel. Like if you have to put a single phrase description, right? Something like, imagine, like this is kind of in the context of telling someone that description, and that description kind of being like intriguing in a way, right? So it's like he says some examples here, for example. Hillbilly Flamenco, for example. He has these chapters. It's like Twigtown went metal, but they're from Mars or something. Or, for example, you know what you guys sound like? Hillbilly Flamenco, right? Interesting phrase. Or like the guy he's called like David Silver, no, Derek Sivers. This guy also had music or something, and he described it himself as like the mix of Bob Marley with something like this and something like that. Constantly random and confusing, but I like it. LOL. Interesting. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to see if I can find the other thing. Yeah, this make people curious with one sentence. He described his band as a cross between James Brown and the Beatles, right? And this was enough to intrigue people. Constantly random and confusing, but I like it. Is also something intriguing, I would say. or we are the music makers or we are the dreamers of dreams. Is that a quote for something? Ode. Willy Wonka. Okay, I'm going to close all these tabs because my computer is going to explode if I don't do it. I'm not a creep, I'm not a weirdo, I know exactly what I'm doing here, I belong here. I know that song actually. I do I do know that one. Yeah, those were the questions that I had. I don't have any more questions for the stream, but I did have more things I wanted to take a look at. For example, this over X thousand words. This over X thousand words phrase that I had was kind of me trying to describe something. I'm not sure what. I think it has to be something related to this. Describe yeah, I guess this is something I don't necessarily like about the random and confusing, but I like it, right? Because at least I didn't say it myself. But if I said it myself, right? If I said I am random and confusing, it's like there are many ways to be random and confusing, right? But for example, something like this, right? Bob Marley with a Turkish pipe smoking Japanese candy. That's like super narrow. So I was trying to think of something like that that describes me. Or not me, or like my channel, or whatever the fuck, right? We sound like the smell of fresh baked bread. What is random and confusing? But likable. Kids, kind of. Kids are kind of random and confusing, but likable, right? If you see a kid, kids are random and confusing because you don't know what they are saying, but likable in a way. They are likable in a way. Yeah, something like my videos are synesthesia dope as fuck. Yeah, these things. Yeah, that is pretty interesting. I don't know. But for example, I don't think my videos are like snorting cocaine or something like that. Right? They are not that kind of confusion. Or I'm not sure if snorting cocaine gives you confusion. Like smoking weed gives you confusion or paranoia or something. Right? I don't know a lot about drugs. Maybe psychedelics or something do make you random and confused. I didn't think you would talk so long about what I said. It wasn't meant in a bad way, just to be sure. Yeah, I know. Well, I didn't know, no, but I imagined. No, it's a good answer. I wanted that. I imagined that I would get only one answer. Right? That's what I imagined when I was thinking about this yesterday. I imagined I would only get one answer. So that's why I spent so much time, because I knew I would get just one. Well, not discounting your answers, Will, but yeah, because they are direct quotes from like other stuff. They don't feel like representative, right? Like they don't feel like an analysis of the thing. But curiosity is a decent word. It's a decent answer, right? Okay. I got two answers, but the curiosity was very short. The other one was like, I guess, more nuanced. Curiosity, I would say, is more like a value, right? It's more than a description or, this kind of try to describe in one sentence. It's more of a list values of the channel or list values of me, right? List my values. And I would, curiosity is definitely one of them. Yeah, what was I thinking afterwards or before that? The over X thousand words. I forgot what I wanted to say about this. I know it's related to my YouTube comments, right? I thought of this randomly because I was thinking, how can I play up my strengths or something like this, right? Not the snorting of cocaine confusing, but rather the pineal gland pumping the DMT confusing. Evolving awareness. I couldn't say, but I believe you. Where were you from, Will? California. Were you the guy from California? Or girl? I don't know. Over extra words. Okay, yeah. Back to the thing. This was me talking about my YouTube comments, right? I wanted to instantiate that somewhere, right? Because somewhere in this place, I think they must be like, I don't know, in some place like this, one of these pages must be something like list your strengths or something like this. I don't know. Yeah, something like this must be, right? Get specific, maybe. I like that advice as well. Ukraine. Oh shit, true. I forgot who is from California then. Where in Ukraine? Close to the right or close to the left? The war is still going on, right? Yeah. In Spain?
Spanish police say they believe that the body of a man shot dead in the garage of an apartment building in Alicante is that of a Russian pilot who defected to Ukraine in his helicopter last year. He was found dead last week in the Spanish resort where he's believed to have been living. Maxim Kuzminov, had said that the opposition to the war is what made him leave Russia. He reportedly also received around $500,000 to do so.
The garage of an apartment building in Alicante, where the body of a man was discovered, riddled with bullet holes and run.
Insane. I do know that in Alicante there are a lot of Russian people, also Ukrainian people. I have I know an Ukrainian girl, and she lives in Alicante. And she has a lot of Ukrainian friends herself. Interesting. And when I went to Torrevieja, right now in the west, I want to go to Lviv one day. I found it an interesting city. Lviv. Yeah, yes, the Lviv bus terminal looks pretty crazy. Yo. I like these buildings. And they also Lviv in general was pretty women. Yeah, pretty quaint, like a quaint little town or something like this. I saw a lot of people saying that unlike cities in the west in the east of Ukraine, Lviv is quite more like Central European and it looks much more like one of these, for example. You could say, oh, is it a Slovakian city or whatever? Yeah, cultural capital of Ukraine. Interesting. Lviv. Lvova. How does the translator pronounce it? Something like Lviv or something.
Lviv.
Lviv? Okay. Is it like that in Russian as well? No, Russian doesn't have this, right? Russian doesn't have the regular I. Ruski. Lvov. What?
Lvov.
Lvov. Interesting. Okay, back to the thing. Comments. I think I wanted to rate my comment. Just not just rate my comments, but describe. I don't know. I was thinking, what makes me special or whatever, right? And I was like, writing a lot of YouTube comments and a lot of text. Kiev is different, but also good. For me, even better. Lviv, too densely populated, too narrow for me. True. especially like in the center or whatever. Let's see, tallest building in Lviv. Skyscrapers of Ukraine. Hotel skyscrapers. Yo. Interesting. Okay, so none in Lviv. Anyway, dude, was nice seeing you. Gotta go. See you later. Cheers. Bye. Nazdarovia. Bueno, that's Russian, but translate. Bye bye. Ukrainian. Бувай.
Бувай.
Бувай. До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.
До побачення.
Adiós, amigo. Goodbye.
До побачення.
До побачення. And how is it in Russian? Ruso. До свидания. Ah, claro. До свидания.
До свидания.
Yes, I just said the YouTube comments thing. Don't have a lot of more to say about that, I think. Let me check my notes. I think I had something. I was thinking about this while walking, not sure if while walking or if before bed I thought about this. I didn't write anything. Something about YouTube comments. I want to get my YouTube comments site done. I think it's time. I already have the script. I would just have to find something that makes the .md files a website, which is pretty fucking annoying, to be honest, but pretty simple. And maybe just some manual review of things. Just like manually reviewing comments to see, okay, this goes into the site, okay, this doesn't. So just add another parameter and maybe a couple tags parameter or something. I could, not coding. I won't code anything else. Just code that phrase and done. Download the archive. I would need to do that. Sounds good. Yeah. I'm not sure. Oh, I'm not sure if you know. I'm not sure if you were there. But the Sunday interview, the interview that I had on Sunday, she didn't show up to the interview itself, right? Like she didn't show up to the call. That's why I have to think again about job and all these things. I thought I could maybe stop thinking about that, but no, I didn't have any luck. So yeah, I was thinking what to do. And yeah, I guess this was like related, and that's why I'm reading this kind of self-help books or whatever. That sucks. It does. And yeah, I don't know. The thing is, reading the book has these chapters about well, it does have a lot of things about talking to people, talking to a lot of people, talking to people, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, interesting, right? And it is really specific on how to talk to people, right? Like you should actually meet people in real life and all that. I don't know. But okay, what was he talking about? Oh yeah, this thing. Okay, it does have like this rejected advice or whatever, which is interesting. It basically said something like, if you like don't give up and basically send the thing 3 times. Oh yeah, I thought about the asking you guys questions because of this. Put your fans to work. I was like, okay, fuck it. I don't want to think how to describe my own channel. I'm going to let you describe it. This was what made me think of that. This was pretty fucking sad to read. The valuable to others are only you. But was 10 now 10. I don't know. Yes, repeatedly follow up to show you care. It was like every time someone sent their music, I would put it in an inbox. If they send it twice, in another inbox. Then third time, she would actually listen, right? So I was like, maybe I will have to try again, like yet again. Because I already followed up one time, right? I was like, hey, blah, 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 message. She responded, didn't, and then I responded something like, okay, when? Okay, this is my schedule. Then she was like, no answer. Then I was like, 2 weeks after, I was like, hey, not sure if you remember this. And then she was like, oh, okay, scheduling. And then I show up and she doesn't show up, right? So maybe it's like, okay, maybe a third attempt. And the thing is, I wasn't sure what to do on the third attempt. Will I be like, because also the talking was her idea, right? She was like, okay, when do you want to talk about this more dynamically? And I was like, sure, okay, yeah, because I actually wanted to also talk about it dynamically, I guess, but like I can do it statically as well, right? If you just send me the fucking things you want to discuss in the email, I will respond, right? So it's like maybe I just send the things I want to ask. I would have asked dynamically on the email, and that was my idea, right? My idea was something like respond to the email, and in the email have a link to a Google Doc, and in the Google Doc have something like, okay, this is what I would have discussed, and like she can fill it in, she can call me back or whatever the fuck, right? I think I will do something like that. But first I have to like mentally, I don't know, maybe this is retarded on my part and I could just simply do it. But I don't know. I feel like I'm an emotional person and I need to recover emotionally from these hits. Maybe this will hamper my success or whatever, but I don't know. This is how I have to deal with the things. Well, not have to. This is how I am dealing with things right now. Maybe one day I will get more used to this. And I think I'm going to follow up, right? This inspired me to follow up with some of the things that rejected me not rejected me, right? That didn't tell me anything. I presented my candidature to some things. Okay, that was it, right? This was the context for this, right? I was thinking, okay, I need to follow up with these people. How do I follow up with something better, right? It's because I could be like, hey, have you seen this? But I want to like, I don't know, one up the message, right? I want to be like, hey, I am this guy who sent this video. Not sure if you watched it, but if you want like a sum up, a short sum up, and then I would put like my website or something. And in my website, I would have the description, right? I would not link to the actual 1,000 words or to the actual over X thousand words. Oh yeah, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to just count the words. Okay, just count the words. I wanted to do something like yeah, I don't know, something like over X thousand words written in long asterisk YouTube comments, right? And then the asterisk, right? The asterisk is like asterisk long equals more than 1,000 characters, right? Characters. That was what I was going to plan. Right? That was my plan. And this would be on a website. And the website would just say something like, I don't know, like this website. Coscorro drift.limo. Like this, something like this. I blah blah blah. I do this, right? And why I'm good at this, blah blah blah, and something like this, right? Maybe I don't know, maybe testimonials or whatever. A couple of links to the same thing, right? The visa project and videos. I don't know. Something similar. That was my idea. That's why I wrote this. And I wanted to literally just count the words, right? Not even make the website, as I told you. I told you I want to make the website, but as you saw, I was not pretty excited about it, right? I was like, I don't know. I'm not, like, I know that it's like a hard project. Not even a hard project, but like, I don't know. It's full of resistance, that project. I will eventually have to do it. But before that, I wanted to do the other thing, right? To just literally say it, right? To describe. Before show, describe. And if describing works, fuck it, let's just describe, right? Because I've done the work, right? I have actually written the comments. I have not done the work of compiling all the comments in a way that you can see them, right? I have not done that, but I have done the actual comments, right? I'm not lying. That's the thing, right? And I want to do a number that's more or less specific enough for it to like show that it's believable, right? For example, VS Code. This is my website. Open recent. Take out comments parser. If I don't know, if you see these index.js, yeah, okay, it's actually 1500 characters. But if you see the oh shit. Yeah, it increases the counter. Amount of comments, commented length. Okay, yeah. At the end of it all, when I run the comment parser, it would output the comment length. No, it outputs the number of comments. Okay, and it starts outputting whatever. And it outputs the amount of comments that it did, but it doesn't count the words. I have to redo the comment parser to count words. The thing I was going to do was just to literally something like copy all of these, right? Or I don't know. I would download some kind of tool to read text and would just like copy paste the thing, like the whole folder, more or less to get like a guesstimate, right? And to be like, okay, this is something like this, right? I know, I was going to be like, okay, if this is over 1500 characters, I would just count this, right? So I would do this. This is what I was going to do first. Reviewing File Explorer. Output. Control E. 420. 420 comments times 1500 characters, 630,000 characters. Then I would do characters to words. Characters to words calculator. 630,000. 100,000 words. So I would do over 100,000 words in YouTube comments. That would be like the tagline or something like this, right? And then more than 1500 characters, and as you can see, there are some comments that are way more than 1500 characters. But like the first guesstimate would be this. Like this would be it. And I don't know. I think it's pretty valid, right? Online character count tool. Or I could do, for example, this. Take whatever, which one? This one. Boom. Control C. Control V. Characters, 200 words. So I have words per character. 198 words between 150 characters times 1500. No, they're opposite. 150 entre 198. 5.8 words per characters per word. So 630,000, 0. 630,000 entre, what did I say? 5.8. 5.808, boom. 110,000 words. So 100 is like a good estimate. That would be it, right? And that was my idea. But yeah. That's basically it. I think that's all for today. Thank you for being here. And yeah, I'm going to close. Bye. Sure, see you, I guess.